we have Janet Mordeci. Mordeci.
That was good though.
And her title is How Artificial Intelligence is Transforming Banking. And her timer is 8 to 10 minutes. Let me introduce her. Thank you for putting up with Janet for the third week in a row. She's working on completing her advanced manual and only has one more speech after this. Woo! Janet is here to talk to us about technical papers she read. The paper was written by the company she works for, Encino, and explains how artificial intelligence or AI is transforming banking. She will try not to bore you with all the technical terms, but will give you a brief overview of the papers. Please help me to welcome Janet to the lectern. Good.
Does it work? Yeah. I always wonder if it works, and I apologize, Lisa. I tried to make it straight, but we're working with limited ability here. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My goal here today and my presentation is to talk to you about a technical paper and present it in PowerPoint. So I'm not going to bore you with all the technical terms, but I figured AI, or artificial intelligence, is here. And I work for a company that makes software for banks. So I read this article that they produced and figured I would share a little bit about that article with you. So the future is now. How artificial intelligence is transforming banking. Let's take a step back and just talk about AI in general. So AI versus AL, it looks like an I, and I just figured I would take a step back because there is a lot of difference with people in their mindset. You have AI, which is artificial intelligence, and then you have AL. That's Al Pacino. I just want to bring that to everyone's attention because there is a difference between AI versus Al. And sometimes when you have the lowercase L, people get it confused. And I bring this up as a joke to everyone here, but I truly had a friend say, who is this Al person that everyone is talking about? So I know this is a diverse audience, and I wanted to bring it back a little bit more. When we're talking about AI, we are talking about artificial intelligence altogether. And to define what artificial intelligence is, the Oxford Living Dictionary says the theory and development of computer systems able to perform tasks normally requiring human intelligence, such as visual perception, speech recognition, decision-making, and translations between languages. It's pretty impressive that we're able to have these technologies nowadays that allow us to be able to leapfrog in the industry. We'll take it back again, a little step back when it comes to banking and how things used to be done. In the 1900s, you used to go into a bank, walk in, fill out the papers, I think maybe even quill pens back then, and being able to walk in and talk to people. In the 1960s, they had teller machines. You can go in ATMs that you would take out your money, and now everything's mobile. When was the last time somebody walked into a bank? Here. Jackie?
I go all the time. I go, yeah.
You go all the time?
I go all the time.
Out of the room of what, 25 right now, who's walked into a bank within the last week?
I'm old.
That's okay. There's still going to be that capability. And banks are still here. They're not going anywhere in terms of it. But more times than not, we're moving towards a generation that isn't going to walk into a bank. I couldn't tell you the last time I did it. You can upload your checks right to the app. You can transfer money right from the app. You can do everything that you need to. Talk to people through chat boxes, etc. So banking has changed in general. They used to have more paper where you would fill it out. Everything's electronic nowadays. Yes, there are still some banks that are working with paper. You have to in certain situations to get an actual signature, etc. But we are moving away from that. We are in an era where it is all going to what we call the cloud. And I don't want to say the clouds just in the sky that are nice and fluffy. They are actually a digital cloud that I am talking about. So we talk about that the future of banking is digital banking. It's redefining the way that banking works. And there's a company out there right now that is doing that. I'm not sure if any of you have heard, but I work for a company called nCino. I'm one of their technical recruiters, and they are the worldwide leader in cloud banking. They are able to redefine exactly what we're doing in the banking world. It's pretty fantastic. So when we look at a software and everything that's going on and what nCino is able to do, this is just a brief synopsis of how they're able to change banking. And it's all from a software of commercial banking, treasury management, small business banking, retail banking, asset finance leasing, customer engagement. All our clients are financial institutions. And in the article, it talks about how this AI that we're creating within this software is going to change the future of banking altogether. So nCino is one of the bank operating systems that we have here locally. And we do this by transforming financial services through innovation, reputation, and speed. And one of the things we talk about in speed is what we clarify as NIC. So NIC is nCino IQ, which has to do with our artificial intelligence. So it is coming up on April 15th. What happens April 15th?
Taxes.
Tax day. So who here may use TurboTax? Anyone to file their taxes? I've used it a bunch of times. Some people use accountants. I use TurboTax because I don't have that complex of taxes, thankfully. And to give you an example of what's happening behind even that software with TurboTax is when you upload all your forms and it says calculating and it comes up with another question to ask you, that's not humans behind little computers, or they have people sitting there and saying, okay, let me review this statement and see what's going on. That is all artificial intelligence that are taking those documents and being able to transcribe them and say, hey, maybe this is a better solution for you, or hey, I looked at this line item, it looks like you may have bought a house this year, and it's able to do that. So nCino is doing that conceptually in the banking form. And so we're able to have chat boxes, we're able to forward think what customers are going to want to buy, and some of the areas that they're able to do that is proactively manage credit and compliance risks. That's important when you're a bank. You want to make sure that you're compliant. So when we're implementing this software, we have this new artificial intelligence called NIC that is going to say, hey, this doesn't seem to be compliant with the way that the banking form is at this point in time. It will improve efficiency with data-driven decisions. So instead of us having to sit there and calculate everything, and it's going to allow us to make faster decisions about our clients and embrace everything that they have going on. Save time by eliminating manual data entry. I don't know about all of you, but I definitely have fat fingers sometimes when I am on the keyboard. So being able to upload forms and being able to have them read off that, you don't have to worry about typing in certain information where a word gets messed up or a number gets messed up. Although I would love if they would add a couple of zeros to my bank account, because that would just be amazing, but that is not going to happen, unfortunately. And just accelerate employee actions. And that means, in the sense from a banker standpoint, when we're sitting down with a client or a banker sitting down with a client, they're going to have this screen up and saying, hey, this particular client of yours has XYZ. Maybe you should suggest this type of funding for them. And it just takes a lot of the guessing work out of it. So in this article, it explains all of that and how artificial intelligence is the future of banking. That is where we are going. That is where the world, whether it's in banking, whether it's in healthcare, whether it's in just pretty much anything, the future of banking is going to be artificial intelligence. So part of that is being able to work with different systems, and obviously you have to produce this. Artificial intelligence, although it's something that we are we are working on, it's not going to take away from the human activity behind it. So I just want to make sure everyone's aware of that. And in this article, it does explain that. Yes, people sit there and say, oh, jobs are going away, we don't need humans anymore. Artificial intelligence and iRobot is out there and they're going to take over the world. That is not going to happen. You still need humans behind all of this. This wouldn't be produced unless there were people developing this type of software, and that's going to continue to be that way. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about this article, you can always go to the Encino website. It's a little blurry, but there is an artificial intelligence there in the news, and that's a white paper that I read. So I appreciate you guys listening to me today. I understand tech talks aren't for everybody here in this room, so hopefully it was lightning enough to be able to at least pique your interest a little bit more about artificial intelligence.